Originally, Rollo refers to Trein as Mozus sensei, using Trein's first name, but this was changed in the English language adaptation to Professor Trein instead. Rook originally refers to the younger students as his cute underclassmen, which was changed to dear on En. The sentiment is the same, so this is not a dramatic change, but cute removal is not unusual for En, and is interesting to track. Both Sebek and Malleus had the word humans removed from their dialogue in two different places, changed to people for Sebek and dropped from Malleus's dialogue entirely. The English language adaptation has a history of removing the word egg from the game, and it was no different in Glorious Masquerade. Rather than dropping it as it was dropped in the main story, it was changed to fledgling, like it was for Spectral Soirée. While En has technically localized the in-game currency Madel into Thamarks, with the Port Fest event En received an all-new form of currency that doesn't exist in the original game, sorcents. They returned in Glorious Masquerade. If you were curious if Idia really did refer to Riddle as Tiny Titan in the original game, yes he did. He also used his nickname for Riddle, which En will sometimes translate as instructor and sometimes as taskmaster, but this time it was dropped. Rollo's unique magic is pronounced Dark Fire, while it means Smoldering Desire. It was localized as Dark Fire on En. Idia generally talks with a stutter in the original game, which was removed from the English language adaptation of Glorious Masquerade. I thought this might just be a language limitation, but looking through Idia's other appearances in the game, there are often parts where his stutter has been accurately recreated on En. Lines like, blue handkerchiefs, the glass mobiles seem to be less simple than these, became, plain blue handkerchiefs? No offense, but these look way more basic than those glass mobiles, and, but then, became, okay, but, like, making the En adaptation of Idia maybe sound more assertive than the original. I have recently seen theories that English language translation for the game might be separated into multiple teams, which seems logical. It is possible that the team assigned to events like Glorious Masquerade is different from the team that did Idia's vignettes, which would explain the inconsistency in his speech patterns. It would also explain what happened to Deuce's unique magic. In the original game, Azul recites the exact same spell as Deuce did in Book 5 in order to summon the magic he has borrowed from Deuce, but the spell between En Deuce and En Azul is not the same. There is no dramatic difference between its payback time and its time to pay up, so it is just two different ways to say the same thing, which would make sense if the translation team assigned to Book 5 of the main story is different from the team who did Glorious Masquerade. If the translation teams are separated by vignettes, events, and the main story, it would also explain why the egg references are getting removed from the main story while being translated into fledgling in Halloween events, and why Idia refers to Riddle as taskmaster during Fairy Gala and instructor in the main story, but this is all just conjecture based on the curious continuity. An interesting language hurdle arose at the end of the game when Malleus addresses the gathered visitors at the ball by the omae form of you. The audience responds with discomfort and Jamil explains, ordinary students don't address peers they are meeting for the first time as omae tachi. Since the English language doesn't have varying forms of you, this comment was removed. Much like how the lyrics to the song Piece of My World were removed from Book 5, the lyrics to Malleus's song Wish Resound were also removed from the English adaptation of the game. While likely a licensing issue and therefore unavoidable, it is kind of unfortunate as, during the song, there are repeated cuts to Rollo's reactions, and Malleus makes a point of commenting on the importance of the lyrics that seem to be resonating with Rollo, though En players cannot see them.